And our next and final speaker in our Olympic segment has an inspiring story to tell about sustainability and community action coming out of Japan, where the Tokyo Olympics are set to start very shortly. Eric Kawabata is the APAC general manager for a company called Terracycle and Loop Japan. Terracycle, if you've followed the Signal 360 media newsletter, you know about it. It has a mission to eliminate waste. It's an extraordinary company, and it is bent to its mission. Eric launched Terracycle Asia in 2014, Terracycle China in 2017, and Terracycle Korea in 2017. Welcome, Eric. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Eric Kawabata. I'm the Asia Pacific Regional Manager for Terracycle. I manage Japan, China, Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. The Podium project for the Olympics is a collaborative effort with the people of Japan to collect packaging waste across the country, bringing it together to recycle into raw materials which were used to build the Olympic podiums for Tokyo. We in Terracycle have a very close partnership with Procter & Gamble, and P&G has a very strong commitment to sustainability. The president of P&G Japan had asked me for some ideas of how we can raise awareness about the issue of plastic waste and engage people to start recycling. And the idea, I came up with in discussing it with Mr. Standabasera, who's the president of P&G Japan, was to collect it at retail stores and to build something symbolic, something that would inspire people to action. And something that came to mind was the Olympics. It's something that is unifying, it's universal, right? It evokes emotion. It celebrates victory. It celebrates unity and humanity. And we thought, what a great platform, right? What a great way to motivate people. If we could tell them, if you help us collect plastic waste, we can show you, we can build something really cool with it. For example, like an Olympic podium. There were many challenges to achieve this, but I think, one challenge that stands out was how to engage and how to convince the numerous stakeholders who needed to be a part of this to make it happen. The way we overcame the challenges was to make as many stakeholders in the project as we could. And so we together, both Terracycle and P&G as a team, together reached out to government officials, to the Tokyo Olympic Committee, to the International Olympic Committee, to prominent athletes, to stakeholders in the community who would be a part of this platform, a part of the project, to make something that would be a point of pride for not just the Japanese people, but to embody the spirit of the Olympics. And it was not an easy thing to do. It's not just me, it's not just P&G, it's the community. So one of the breakthrough points in this whole process was convincing a lot of the internal committees at TOGOG to get on board with us. And we had an internal champion within the local Olympic Committee. His name is Koji Murofushi. He's a personal friend of mine. And he was one of the first person that we sounded the idea with. And he loved it. He's a great guy. He is a champion of sustainability. He's also a former two-time Olympic gold medalist. He's a national hero in Japan. And at the time, he was the director of athletics at the Olympic Committee. And so we arranged for him to, I would say, pay a surprise visit during one of the meetings that P&G and Terracycle were having with the Tokyo Olympic Committee. And it was at this meeting that we brought in mock-up podiums to be tested for strength, for different specifications. And we arranged that he would surprisingly show up, and he would knock on the door, which happened, and they opened the door and they see, wow, the national hero standing in the doorway. And everybody was shocked. And he looked over at me and he said, this is my friend Eric. What are you guys doing here? And of course he knew. But he was playing along and he said, wow, what is this? Wow, this is the podium we've been talking about. This is the mock-up. It's fantastic. And he got up, he stood up on the podium, and this part was coincidental. We were talking about the strength of the podium, how we've made it properly. It's been tested. He's a big guy and he started jumping up and down. And he did something which was really cool. He raised his hands like in victory. And I think there's a flood of memories from past Olympics in Japan, going around the entire room of the committee. And I could tell you that was a pivotal moment in approval for the project. The unveiling ceremony for the podium is something really unique. I think if we're just, a normal podium, there would not be an unveiling ceremony, first of all. Now, I think there was a tremendous amount of significance because we're in the middle, of a state of emergency in Japan still. There are questions about safety, and there are not a lot of positive things going on at the time in this country, and for that matter, globally. Now, there's questions about safety, about the Olympics as well, and there was some doubt, I think, within the public sentiment. The ceremony for the unveiling of the podium was amazing. Now, it was done in a beautiful center. There was an orchestra, and there were people giving speeches about what this meant for the country, what this meant for society, what this meant for sustainability, how this was a symbol of pride. It was an example, right, of what can be done if people come together. And there was positive reaction from the media, overwhelming response from the public. And I was told by many people in the Japanese government, and stakeholders in the project as well, that they viewed this as a very pivotal moment, which changed, right, the sentiment around the games, a shift to positive sentiment. And because of that, it was not just symbolic for sustainability, right? It was symbolic as it signified or it symbolized change in sentiment around the games into positive forward momentum. And so it was something that I don't think we expected, but under the circumstances, it turned out to be even more meaningful than just sustainability, right? It embodied the spirit of the Olympics. And Mr. Morofushi, right, who we just I had mentioned, he himself told me, this is what the Olympics is about. And I'm going to use this in all my speeches when I talk about the Tokyo Olympics. We're working together with P&G to bring similar sustainability programs to all future Olympics. Hopefully we'll see more podiums as well, recycling initiatives, right? Engaging the communities to use the Olympics as a platform for good, right? To use the platform to raise awareness about sustainability and the need for the public to engage, to make people aware that it's not just, a problem of one country or one person. It's something we all need to embrace. It's something we all need to work together to achieve. And so we plan to continue these projects, working with Procter & Gamble to bring this to future Olympics and make the Olympics very sustainable.